So we live in this fiat world that is all based on debt. And a lot of Bitcoiners would argue that the Bitcoin standard is one of equity. So, how do these two worlds really blend? Because I've heard some in the community say, we don't need credit on the Bitcoin standard. Why would we even have debt? How do you answer that?
Yeah, so that's when I first started out, I always thought, hey, Bitcoin's going to end the banks. Bitcoin's going to end this scheme. But there's nothing wrong with banking. What's wrong is fractional reserve banking. That's what's wrong. It's fractional reserve banking. It's that banking business model of fractional reserves being legal that creates the problems, because that's what allows for the infinite issue of credit. But if you have something that is non-fractional reserve, if you have collateralized credit markets like you see in Bitcoin, in the free market internet economy of decentralized finance, now you have a healthy credit market. Now you have a credit market that if it gets too far ahead of itself, the leverage in the marketplace is obvious. And what happens is you get a credit washout, you get a reset. I would actually say that that's exactly what happened just the other day. Bitcoin price went up to like $104,000. Everybody and their mother decided they wanted to go long Bitcoin with leverage, because once we broke 100, we're going to go to 108 and then 120 and 125. And then all of this leverage credit, Bitcoin drops all the way down to 92,000. All of that leverage credit gets washed out. Yeah. And now we're right back up at 100,000. So see, when you have a credit system that is tied to a collateral, the credit can actually be destroyed. It can be washed away, and the mismanagement and the over leverage get washed away. That's our biggest problem in fractional reserve banking. It's too big to fail. We are not getting the negative side of the business cycle. The natural business cycle has a phase where there is supposed to be destruction. It has a phase where there's supposed to be deflation, and prices are supposed to come back down. You know what that does? When prices come back down, demand increases. And that's where the economy can really start to rebound. That's the crux of the problem right now. We are stuck in an inflationary recession. Everybody is waiting for a recession, but they have said that a recession means prices equal lower. Well, no, look what happened in Venezuela. They did a demand destruction campaign that was so effective that people only wanted water and food, but the prices still went up because the source of inflation was not the economy. It was the abuse of the currency. It was the abuse of credit extension of those debt notes. And that's what's happening. So those people are right in saying that, yeah, we don't need a fractional reserve credit system that allows for infinite credit creation that's too big to fail with no reset. I agree. But we do need a healthy credit market that's tied to a pristine form of collateral that allows for and mandates the destruction of paper Bitcoins. Look no further than Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX to understand if you're going to sell paper Bitcoins, you can get away with it for a little bit. But when the chickens come home to roost, if you don't have the money, you're going to be liquidated. There's no such thing as too big to fail. You're going to be destroyed. And that's a healthy credit market, and that's a healthy credit cycle. And we can get that going again if we embrace Bitcoin, especially with a Bitcoin recapitalization fund.